Right, I haven't done slides. I feel like this is more of a motivational discussion for today. I feel like I say, happy fucking New Year. It's amazing. It's amazing to see so many of you on as well, especially with it being the New Year one. But first things first, I just want to say, I think I've made the decision that I might have to bring these Zooms forward unless I get major kickback. And like I say, it is amazing to see so many of you on, but I'm dead by like half eight, nine. I've got nothing left to give. I'm like asleep by 9 p.m. pretty much every single day now. So I think if I could just bring it forward by like half an hour, because the reason I did it at 8 was more for the women who have got children, younger children usually, and you need to get them in bed or this, that, and the other. But I feel like usually they don't attend anyway, so I don't know. I'll put it in the thing. If it's going to cause too much disruption, I'll take one for the team. I'll man the fuck up and I will just do it. But if no one minds or you feel like, well, it doesn't really matter, you can watch it back anyway, then yeah, it'd be massively appreciated. Right. Although it is a helpful distraction because my morning sickness at the minute is happening at night. So I feel like if I'm distracted, I might not notice it as much. So there could be a benefit to leaving it at 8. But 2026, like I say, big energy. Now, for me, January it's a good month and it can be a little bit of a like, not so good month. More so, I think, from a coaching perspective. Now, the reason we don't like January as much as coaches is because you do get all of the new year, new me, the people who are only going to see it out for the whole of January at best, and they're probably not still going to be sticking with something come February. A little bit different if you've got a coach, if you're in a program, if you've got some structure, you've got the whole stepping stones of exactly what we're working towards. That is a little bit different, but you will notice if you train from a gym they are a little bit busier at the moment. It can be a bit annoying. We might have to make slight adjustments to programs. And some of you guys would do this for anyway. If you're like, I can never see a cable machine, we might have to switch things up. But know that it is only short term. But this is kind of the point. You cannot rely on motivation to see this journey through. Yes, you will be able to for a very short period of time. A lot of you guys probably are quite motivated by what you saw on the weighing scales, which again is not a bad thing for a couple of reasons. One, because it is going to give you a fucking boot up the backside. It is going to make you go, whoa, okay, we enjoyed ourselves, we had a nice time, but I don't really want to see the numbers going in that direction. So again, that is going to motivate you. The second thing is, a fucking fantastic educational tool for those of you who are new or newer and have yet to build the correlation between the calories are the reason why body fat goes on. It's generally not so much to do with the exercise piece. Energy output obviously plays its part, but it's usually the energy in, which is the calories. And that's demonstrated by what you've done over the holidays. You've had more food, you've had less discipline, you've not tracked, you've probably pushed yourselves into a slight caloric surplus. And guess what? The weighing scales reflected that. Brilliant lesson. Now you've seen it for yourselves and you can go, huh, it makes sense, doesn't it? Everything we're educating you on getting into a calorie deficit, the goal is fat loss. It makes sense. Again, it makes sense even for the muscle building piece, why we burn more energy, especially for those of you who are in your second plus years of strong hair. You might have noticed you put way less on the weighing scales this year than you did in your first year. And guess what? You've built more muscle mass, so your body will burn that energy off faster. All of these things, really, really good insights to go, "Oh, okay, yeah, it makes sense." It kind of that correlation can start to come together. So, January. Now, fat loss goalers, nutrition is your key piece. Like I say, we've learned this, we've seen this have the adverse effects, and now we want it to have the positive effect. Now, the majority of you will not have put any fat on over the holidays. I'm going to say it louder for the women at the back. You have not put any fat on over the holidays. It is simply water weight from an increase in food, a decrease in digestion, a decrease in as nutritionally dense foods as you would normally have, and probably a slight slowdown in that energy output too. Again, completely and utterly expected. If you're coached by me, you will have heard me say memories over macros. That is what we rule by over the holidays. We should be able to have a little bit of downtime and enjoy ourselves guilt free. Okay, but if you did see those weighing scales go up, and for the majority of you, we did see that on the check-ins on Friday. For those of you who did check in and who were able to, that's amazing because you've drawn that line in the sand. If you haven't, please, for the love of God, start doing your daily check-ins because again, we want to know what those digits are. Even if it terrifies the living shit out of you, we want to know the data. And it is always data over drama. It's lessons learned. The saying is usually money earned. Doesn't really work in this context, but there you go. It's just a lesson to see what that data is actually saying. So please draw your line in the sand so we can actually understand. But no, you'll see it drop away very, very quickly, provided you get back onto it. Now, this almost doesn't really matter if you're in a fat loss phase, a reverse diet phase, a bulk, all of these different things. We saw the numbers shoot up significantly for most people over the holidays. So as long as you get back to your macros that you have been set, you will see that drop come back down again. And that's what we want to be able to see. So this is where the daily check-in habits really, really good for you because it will tell you I'm back on track or I'm not putting the effort in and I've not yet got that rhythm. And this Friday, well, Thursday, depending on what day you choose to check in, it is imperative for us to see those wins. We need to see you guys getting back into those habits, doing the things that we should be doing. We want to see those workout sessions. We want to see those steps coming back up to a really good, healthy place. We want to see that nutritional data. We want to see some fucking vegetables going in, guys. And we want to see some fucking fiber. Do you know what I mean? Please eat the fiber for me. The only thing I can get in is carrots. Pretty much carrots exclusively. As of Christmas Eve, when I was chopping them up for Christmas Day, I thought, oh, you know what? This carrot's calling me. It's calling my name, and I can now get them in. That's about it. So eat the fiber for me as well, please. So we want to see that going in. And I want to see like the pulses, the beans, the quinoa. Do you know what I mean? The good things, the things we want to see that protein in. If you're a vegetarian, you've got to get that protein up. Now, that's one thing actually that I'm finding really interesting about my first trimester tragic life of not being able to eat nutritionally dense foods and living like a vegetarian essentially. I mean, don't get me wrong, I can't even stomach protein shakes, so I am at a disadvantage, but it's fucking hard to get protein in. The only things I'm probably able to do it through at the minute, apart from secondary carbohydrate sources, which at the minute is my primary protein source, but yogurts, that's it. But you guys have really got to dig in. You've got to push to make sure that you are getting that protein in because it's not as easy for somebody that is a vegetarian. Pescatarian, you've got way more options. Meat eaters, even more options. But if you're in that vegan, vegetarian category, you really got to push for that, guys, because it does matter and it does make a big difference. But I want to push hard. Now, some of the potential pitfalls that you can fall into. Now, one of them today could well have been the weather. Okay, the weather is having a slightly adverse effect, or depending on where you are in the country. Like we had quite a bit of snow overnight. I know the Welsh women have had a lot of ice below us in the country as well. A lot of ice. Pretty sure we're going to have a lot of ice tomorrow as well. So you've got to be really, really careful if you do train outside of the comfort of your own home. Even if you train from a home garage, the cold, again, is going to be another thing. Even if you a home workout, gym workout, the dark mornings are still dark mornings. Do you know what I mean? We've still got that for another period of time where it is just a little bit harder if you train first thing in the morning to get your ass out of bed. But your advantage that you guys have got over the evening people is that you probably don't have as many of the New Year, New Me crew. inside, like if you are training from a gym, you won't have as much of that in the morning. You'll tend to see the same regular people as what you did pre-Christmas, maybe the odd few more, but usually it doesn't change too much. So pros and cons there, but again, you've really got to push yourselves. You've got to get that discipline to say, right, okay, no matter what the weather is doing, I'm going to do my best. And I've even got clients at the moment where they can't maneuver their cars, they just can't do that. It's too dangerous at the minute. And they are just getting creative and training from home. If you need me to give you a home program, please tell me. Do you know what I mean? Or Coach Cat, like we can give you that in a nutshell. Like whatever phase you're in, there is a home version that we can adapt for you. Even if you don't have dumbbells, you can still use baked beans, or we can just add more reps in so that you can try and get a bit of a sweat on. Not that, I mean, I don't sweat. I'm fucking Baltic. I don't know how anyone sweats ever, but even more so now. I'm colder than the Antarctic. Um, what else is going to derail you? Now, I mentioned this to every single woman that I coached the other day. Leftovers, Christmas leftovers. I feel like this might be more of a thing if you've got younger children, like grown-up children, they tend to take their shit and go, don't they? They might have even moved out, or they're not sharing. You can't get away with stealing it from grown-up adults. Do you know what I mean? It's just not going to happen. But I feel like if you've got younger children and they've still got a lot of chocolate, they've got a lot of sweets, or potentially if you love chocolate, you love whatever it might be, you might have been bought a lot of that for Christmas. So another consideration to just make your decision with what you're going to do with it. Now, some of the ladies have already given it away. That's what they've already decided to do. They don't want it in the house. They wanted to give it away. That is an option. And again, this is not a dictatorship, guys. You're all adults. We can make suggestions, but then you've got to be the person to make the final choice that is right for you, which might be completely different for somebody else inside the program. You might decide to divvy it up. You might decide, right, I'm meal prepping, or I'm going into work, I'm making up my packed lunches, and you know what? I'm going to take a little bit in and I'm going to scan it in and I'm going to make it fit into my macros, and I'm happy to do that. That's another option. It could be, I don't know, that you can build if you've got cheeses or different things, you might be able to build those into some of your meals as you're going throughout the week, where again, you could still have it, but you're making it fit within the macros that you've got available to you. Or again, get it out of sight, out of mind. If it's for the children or this, that, and the other, put it somewhere that you're not likely to think, oh, I'll just nip into that. I'll nip into that. But this is where you've got to have some discipline. You've got to have some drive, guys, to say, are my goals more important to me than continuing to dip into this stuff? Now, luckily, the pro usually is at this point that you kind of feel a bit sick of it. Usually by this point, and I can hit Thomas is even saying it. He's back on the tracking and he's like, is my dinner within this range and this, that, and the other. So we're playing around with his macros and we're on a very different trajectory on eating habits at the moment. But I can feel him going, I don't want to eat the shit anymore. I'm not interested in having any more of that or the cake or the chocolate or whatever it might be. So again, out of sight, out of mind seems to work really well for Thomas. We don't typically buy it and nobody really buys it for us either. So that is, that being said, we do have we have a tin of Celebrations Quality Street. I bought one of each because we did Christmas here and now they're currently just stacked up in our lounge. But I don't really like chocolate anyway. And it's not a vibe to me. Thomas ate like whatever he ate before, and now whatever's left will probably just sit there and go off for the remainder of the year. So, again, if you can leave it in, or take it into the office. But usually, again, at this time of the year, you probably find that other people, which is a positive, around you are also on a little bit of a health kick. Downside to that is they might not last. And when they might not last, people often try and take you down with them. They try and say, oh, should we go and do this? Or, oh, just have a little bit of cheeky, oh, and they'll put stuff under your nose. They'll do things. You got to be able to say, no, that's not my goal. But also stand your ground. Like, no, that's not fair. Do you know what I mean? I'm on this journey. Tell people I am on this journey. This is what I'm doing. And I would appreciate it if you support my goals and my journey and make every effort to make sure that I am ticking the box. Like Thomas told me, I'm back to tracking, I'm back to calorie managing. Right, amazing. this is what the plan is. So, do you know what I mean? I can aid him with that journey and be on board with that rather than trying to derail him. There will be a point where you get a bit sick of it come mid-Jan. That's where people start to go, should we have a cheeky takeaway? Ooh, should we do it? Shall we? Don't do it, guys. Don't do it. If you're going to do it, do a fake away. Do you know what I mean? Make yourself a wonderful slow cooker curry. Make yourselves a some kind of Chinese noodly thing. Make yourself some kind of whatever it might be, Mexican fake away where you can pull all of the pieces together and do you know what I mean? Because it will be better for you. But I imagine most of you, again, that's not going to hit for a couple of weeks. What was the other thing? So another thing is if you are going back into a caloric deficit, doesn't necessarily apply for everyone. It will for most of you if you went into a bit of a surplus, but generally speaking, you will feel it. You will know about it, usually in the first kind of week or so. Now, I am hoping because a lot of you are corporate and you will be going back into work or have gone back into work today, that, do you know what I mean? You're going to be busy, you're going to be distracted, you're probably going to be working hard, you're going to be catching up. I know, like I was talking to Ellen earlier, she's got over 250 emails that she was trying to churn through today. You're not going to be thinking about your stomach if you're trying to do that. Teachers, again, you guys are going to be heavily distracted over the coming days. But downside to that is one, if you're not distracted, you are going to notice your stomach. So, but again, this is where you want to use the weighing scales, use the tools to go, yes, we're moving in the right direction. It is fucking worth it, okay? But what it's not worth doing is trying to make up for the shortfall that you did over Christmas. I don't want to see anybody doing that. I have set your macros where they are set very fucking intentionally, okay? And that is to make sure that you can persevere and keep with these goals. Again, it's going to feel like a bit of an uphill challenge anyway. So if your macros are set here and you're trying to go all the way down here, you are going to shoot yourselves in the foot. So I don't want to see anybody trying to make up for what they did over Christmas. We draw that line in the sand and we stick to our macros from here on out. And that water retention will fade at a nice sustainable level, and then we can get back to everybody smashing their goals, okay? And again, that kind of pound to a pound and a half a week is a reasonable amount of fat loss in order to be able to maintain this longer term without feeling like you're dying. Another thing that might derail a little bit, depending on what you do and how chaotic it is your jobs. Essentially, depending, like I say, you might feel like kids going back to school, if you've got them and you're driving them in, and the roads, even if you haven't got kids, I keep saying this, but it's going to be carnage out there tomorrow, guys. Pretty sure, unless they've got a snow day. I know some already have, but if they're going back tomorrow, the roads are going to be carnage. Allow a little bit of extra time built into your day. But this is it. If you start getting behind in your day, if you start running late, if you start working lunch breaks, if you start doing all of these things, it might start to derail your goals. So have a little bit of respect for yourselves and your goals to say, you know what, I'm going to find balance. I'm going to find balance. I'm not going to go full steam ahead in work and put myself on the back burner because that's not serving me. That's not serving me. That's serving my employer beautifully. But I also need to make sure that I am serving myself in this life because if I don't do it for myself, no fucker's going to do it for me. So we've got to find balance. If you're a business owner, you're fucked. We have no balance. We just work all the time and it is what it is. So just get into the industry that you absolutely love and then you're grand. Can anyone think of anything else that might derail them? Anything that you're thinking, oh, this could be a little bit sketchy. It might be a bit more personal to you, might not be relevant to anybody else. But be really interested to hear if anybody's worried about anything, anybody thinking, oh, well, just a little bit. Might be that you've got birthdays, sometimes January, do you know what I mean? You might be thinking, oh my God, I have got social occasions. What am I going to do? Like Ellen, bless her, the other day, they were already going out for a dinner. I'm thinking, gosh, she's barely made it through to the new year. Poor girl. So should I go back to the original calorie set or the recent ones? The recent ones. The recent ones are absolutely fine. Now, if you are on really good calories, like let's say you're reverse dieting or at maintenance, you might be fine to go, I'll go a little bit under. You know what? I've got the allowance. I don't mind doing that for a little bit of period of time. But the reality is you won't need to. The water weight will still drop away even when you come back down to your maintenance. As long as that energy output's good, as long as the food is nutritionally dense, your digestion is good again, all of these different things, you will notice you're in a really good place. So you don't need to drop them. Anyone in a fat loss phase, I don't want to see them dropping any lower than what they've already been set. But maintenance, or if you're in a bulk slight surplus or reverse dieting, you might have a bit more wiggle room to play with. If I cannot get to the gym, can we do a home plan? Absolutely, absolutely. Have you got a home plan, Nadine? Can't remember. Like I say, if anyone needs a home plan, please message me. If you feel like, oh God, or if we need a slightly different strategy, some of you guys are already on a mixed strategy where you've got some gym, some home. That's fine. I can design programs as whichever way we need to design them in order to make them fit your lifestyle. So if you feel like January we just need a different strategy, again, just message me. Might not get to it straight away, but I'll be able to build that out absolutely fine. What about the January blues that can then lead to comfort eating? What are the January blues? Why would we feel blue in January? Is that because, why do people say that? What is that? Is that the weather? I actually really enjoyed the weather today, by the way. Anyone, if you had the snow and the sun today, or if you had frosty, crispy weather, oh, it was divine. Just getting out, it felt like Christmas. It was a shame this wasn't on Christmas. Would have been amazing. It was actually really warm on Christmas, but Boxing Day was really like Christmassy. But yeah, what makes people blue in January? I have heard the saying, but I just think for me, what a time to be alive. January, you get to reset. You get to go again. You get to have fun. You get to live a whole new year. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, why would anyone be blue? And to me, unless you're in first trimester, there's no blue. This is fucking blue. You guys can eat what you want within reason. Do you know what I mean? You can, but you're probably not yakking up. You're not head over a toilet bowl. You're not feeling like your uterus is being stretched in 58 different directions. You're not having to sleep with sickness armbands on and eating ginger biscuits that I think are fucking revolting. Live your lives, guys. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's amazing. You are so lucky to just be able to wake up and think, oh, it's a new day. This is glorious. I'm gonna move my body. Do you know what I mean? Like, you get to choose what you view your world as. You can be blue and sit in the misery with me. Misery loves company. Come join me. Or you say, no, fuck it. This is great. I'm living my best life. I'm enjoying myself. I'm chipping away at my goals. I'm happy. I'm healthy. I'm loved. I'm surrounded by greatness. I love my career. Do you know what I mean? I see it as a choice. I see it as a choice. And I did feel like, admittedly, I thought I was fully responsible for the weather that we had in early December. I honestly thought it was raining because of how sad I was. I was like, I think I'm directly responsible for this weather now. But it's amazing weather now. Do you know what I mean? It's crispy, it's lovely, it's fresh. I feel like, yeah, I don't, why are we blue? No blues, no blues. It's amazing. Comfort eating, different story. You might get to a point where you think, I really just want, like when I said about the takeaways, that can kind of start to creep in. Unlikely to be this week, gang. I would imagine it's going to be unlikely to be this week, but I would say that's a personal thing. And the more hands-on you are with your coach when these moments happen, the more we're going to be able to walk you off the ledge as fast as possible. But we need to know about them. And I don't mean waiting on your check-in. I mean, you tell us as it is happening, and then we can actually see what's causing the comfort eating. Because I don't think it would be January blues. I think it would be likely to be, I don't know, maybe if you work in finance and you've got like year ends coming up and all of this, it might start to make you feel very overwhelmed. that's your push into what's happening, or it might be, I don't know, something completely different that's causing that. But that's what we want to actually look into. January two birthdays, that's feasible, Kelly. That's feasible because I would just schedule in two refeed days. You've also got reasonable number of calories. So that's all I would do is just schedule in those refeed days for you. Um, Perfect. You've got a home program. I made a big mistake and planned lunch today, but didn't plan dinner. I came home and I've overeaten and I was really snacky. This is it. So that organization now is that piss poor planning leads to piss poor performance. And again, there's no judgment here. And sometimes I think these things, I'm like a forever optimist, but I think these moments are wonderful because they allow you to take stock and go, huh, that's where I went wrong. I planned my lunch, and if you're like me, you have breakfast the same pretty much every single day. You probably do very similar, Vicky, but dinner was what derailed you. So now you need to start thinking, what am I doing for dinner? What are we having every single day this week? Like I usually 9 times out of 10, when I do my supermarket shop, it's pretty much within reason exactly the same. We had stew today. You had stew for the last 3 days because it's got carrots in and I can eat it. Gravy and carrots. Can't eat much of the meat, but there we go. Tomorrow I'm going to try a chili. Might go to shit, but Thomas will be really well fed and it's going to be full of nutrients for somebody else, even if I can't have it. But that's the kind of thing I already know in advance what is being made, even if I'm not the one being able to eat it. So it's just that kind of going, rotate your dishes, keep things really simple. I usually also have for lunch what I would have had for dinner. Again, it makes my life really, really straightforward. So it's just that organization, but using it as a not as a self-sabotage to go, I'm shit, I fucked it, I've already got it wrong. No, this is great. This is my lesson. What can I learn from this experience and what can I implement differently? Because tomorrow's a new day and you get to go again. Every single time you wake up, every single day, you get to go again. Do you know what I mean? It's never finite, it's never done. Do you know what I mean? So it's always amazing. We go again. And again, talk to your coaches about it. Go, right, okay, this is what I'm planning for dinner tomorrow. Get that in writing, and then you've got that again, another line in the sand. Um, People have no money. Okay, so this a financial thing why people might get a bit depressed? Um, get paid early for Christmas. I do get that. I actually, ironic, I mean, obviously I'm self-employed. It's not really a thing for me, but even when I was employed, I thought our employers did it really fucking well. They paid everybody on the 15th of every month, and I thought that was genius because then it never got impacted. And I just think every company should just do that. And then the finance department actually got Christmas off as well because nobody else was at work and they'd already done payroll. So I just think everyone needs to talk to their employers about that. Pay everyone on the fucking 15th and then it doesn't even impact. But yeah, it might feel like a very, very long month from a financial perspective. And this is where you've probably got to get a little bit savvy. And also, there's a really good book about this. Ugh, God, we're going back a really long time. Thomas, are you in the room?
Yeah.
What's the book by? It's a fable, and it basically talks through the principles of really good money, and I love it.
It's upstairs.
It is upstairs. It's not Napoleon Hill, is it? No. Anyway, the principles, this is very loose. You're not going to be able to get in that office. You can't move an inch. Um, the principle of it is, and he story tells through it, and it's only a really short book, and everyone should read it. Highly recommend it. But he talks through that something like 5% of everything you always make, you should park to one side. And at the end of the year, you should invest that money in something. It might be stocks, it might be in shares, it might be in property, it might be an angel financer for somebody else's business. It could be fucking anything, but where you get a return for that money that you're investing. But you're making an educated decision on that, and you do that, and then another 5% should go towards this and that and the other. And he's basically talking about how to divide your money up. But if you then invest whatever that proportion it was. I can't remember, it's 5%, 10%, whatever, but it was feasible to everybody where you wouldn't notice that difference if you didn't just spend everything you earn. But if you did that 10 times, so every single year you put it into a completely different model, at the end of 10 years, you've got 10 different investment pots. Some of them might have gone to shit. Some of them you might have made really bad decisions on. Again, lessons learned or money earned. This is where a lot of my sayings come from. But that's the point. At the end of that, you've got somewhere in there, you will have some pension funds. You'll have some options that you can then play with and navigate. And then what you might do is go, right, year 11, I'm going to put more money into this one because this one's performed really well. Things like that. Really, really savvy. I think Thomas has run upstairs to go and get the book, but fully recommend everybody reading it. Hibernation are really cold, and I get it. I'm colder than you can imagine at the minute, and I can literally live on that radiator. I can stand on that, still won't penetrate my skin. I've got no ability to warm up at all. My feet are so permanently cold. So I do get this one, but again, it just remember it's not forever. Winter is not forever. And if you master winter, probably is the hardest month of the year, season of the year. If you master that, spring, summer, autumn, breeze, an absolute motherfucking breeze. It's easy to then get up and do a workout first thing because you've got the daylight hours to be able to do it. Does feel like daylight lasts longer, and obviously it does. But all of these things, it's like, right, okay, if you mastered this season, you fucking nailed it in terms of health and fitness. Genuinely, that's most likely going to be the difference between you being healthy and fit for life and allowing it to get on top of you. So that's why we want to really try and win and see the winter as a good thing, even if you don't like it. The only other suggestion is to move to a hot country. I'm in. Do you know what I mean? That's the only other thing we could do. If you plan on staying in the UK, though, we just kind of have to suck it up. So many snackcidents last week. You will not be on your own. And again, like Ellen said, track it. Please track it. Even if you fuck it up, our advice on your check-ins will always be better if we can see the reality. And you can't hide it. I'm sorry, but that correlation between the weighing scales and what you do, it's second to none. There is no ability for you to hide what you do, and that's why we want the daily check-ins.
Yes.
Which one is it? The Richest Man in Babylon?
I don't know the exact.
Or is it The Alchemist? You should be able to see it by opening it. No, you can see it by, he's got a list. I remember reading it. He's got, yeah, I think this is it. No, that was just the thing. And then it's all yours to keep. The Sixth Cure, Invest in Income. Yeah, I think it's this, The Second Law of Gold, Fourth Law of Gold. I think it's this one. Anyway, both of these books, very good. So The Richest Man in Babylon or The Alchemist. Fucking hit myself in the head. Or The Alchemist. Very good books for anyone who's into financial literacy. I am looking at an electric blanket, by the way. We actually talked about that today. The dogs have got one. They live a better life than we do. But at the minute, I'm just living on hot water bottles. But I think I am going to have to get one. I worry about messaging you guys too much. Never. Please never ever think that way. One, you're paying for a service. Okay, so take full advantage of that service because this is not free. Do you know what I mean? It's genuinely not. That is a reality that this is an investment for you. If you want to get the most out of your investment, you bleed it fucking dry, guys. Okay, you message as often as you need to. We might not be able to respond straight away. Mondays for me, usually back-to-back meetings. Fridays, we're back-to-back check-ins. We will get through the messages as and when we can, usually, but please do not think, oh my God, I can't message. And also, this is your community. So if you think, you know what, this is me being really vulnerable, I'm a little bit scared to do this, but actually, I'd love to get all of the other women's input on this question. Some of you guys are really good at doing this, and you'll just put it in the group chat. And nobody has ever gone, what a fucking silly bitch. Do you know what I mean? Like, or whatever. Nobody has ever done that, ever. Everybody in here is supportive, and everybody in here is on a similar journey and a similar path. So, any question or anything you're feeling, you're welcome to get each other's input as well as just your coaches. Do you know what I mean? So, but please never ever feel like I'm afraid to message or I really don't want to, do you know what I mean? Bother us like that. That's what you're literally paying us for. And I cannot stress that enough. And we win when you win. Like genuinely, like we want you guys to be success stories, each and every single one of you. We want you to crush it. Otherwise, it doesn't work, does it? Like, what's the point in any of it? So please do reach out to us. You've been under your electric blanket for 12 days solid without turning it off, not even messing. That is me with my hot water bottle life. And I've lent one to Hector because I am kind like that. I don't know if you can see him, he's quite small, but I've given one to him because I'm generous. My dog is getting more use out of it than I am. Yeah, the dogs will love it at this time of year. It is what it is, isn't it? They will love it. And I think I'm going to go out and invest one tomorrow. But instead, what I did was invest in a Polaroid camera. He doesn't know. He doesn't know. Yeah, yeah, I bought that earlier. I was like, I need a Polaroid camera to capture this pregnancy. It's not too expensive in all fairness, like just over 100 quid. But I did that. I did that.
But
I didn't buy an electric blanket so we could survive the pregnancy, but I bought a Polaroid camera so I could capture the moments really beautifully. So there you go. Right. Hopefully, is everyone feeling fired up? Is everyone feeling ready to go? Everyone's feeling pumped, like you've got this, we've got this, we're all in this together. Motherfucking crush it. Has anybody got anything else that they want to ask or add or fears or moments, anything that you want to go through while you've got me? I'm gonna take a drink. Take a drink. No, all good. The only thing I'm just going to do really quickly because I don't know what keeps happening to this video. I keep changing it and uploading it and it still doesn't work. There is a what is it called? An anterior barbell bench press, and with a quarter rep. No one understands where the quarter rep. So it goes like this. So you come up. Imagine I'm at an angle. I'm not at an angle, but you come up. You come down with the bar, and then you do the quarter rep down here. Okay. So I don't know whether is she on, Vicky on. Either way, she might be able to watch it back. But we're gonna push it up. We're gonna bring it down front, quarter rep. That's where the quarter rep goes. That, once you've done one and a quarter, that is your full rep. So if that makes sense. Oh, yeah, you are on. There you go. Did that make sense, Vicky? I'm sorry I haven't had a chance to see whether my not verbal, written version made sense. Yeah, this is it. I'll re-record that. I don't know what's happening. I'm gonna make a note on my hand. One and quarter rep. God, my brain then was even like, what's quarter? Is that 4 or 2? Oh my God. This is why I need to go to sleep. Perfect, amazing. But yes, no, sorry, the quarter goes at the bottom, not at the top. I mean, it's still working, but you're going to work the lats a little bit more if you do it at the top, whereas we want to kind of work the top of the shoulder joints. But yes, amazing. Right, love you all. Let's everyone please check the fuck in on Friday. I know not everyone did last Friday because everybody's got their own lives and different things going on, but we are back at it now. If we are to serve you, we need to know what's going on. So please keep in touch with us and do those motherfucking check-ins. Mwah. Peace out. Have an amazing week, legends. Bye.